question is, what makes you employable? What are those people looking for in a job interview? We'll stay with that situation for a moment. Obviously, they're looking for qualifications, and they're looking for some skills, and they're looking for experience. But you've got a problem here, because when you go into that room, if you're sitting in that waiting room, in that line of people with all those other ones, you can be sure that they have got the qualifications, they've got the skills, they've got the experience. No more, probably no more, no less than you have. So there's nothing really different about you, because your paper, what's on the paper, is the same for everybody. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. They wouldn't invite you if you didn't have the qualifications, the skills, the experience that they want. And they'll be looking at evidence of certain behavior. That too is probably easy for them to judge. But those things, the other things on the right, in my view, these are the things that make the difference. Passion, excited. Are you excited about something? Is there something that you can really be passionate about, that you can really show that you care about, that you're really genuinely interested in? Curiosity. Can you show that you've got an interest in other people and in the world around you? And to a large extent, intercultural skills. How do you get on with other people? How do you relate to other people, other cultures, other countries, other businesses, people from different cities, people from different places? Have you got those things? Because those are the things that will make more of a difference to an employer. And how do you prove that you've got those things? How will you explain that you're passionate, that you're curious, that you've got intercultural interests? It's no use just saying that you have, because anybody can say that they have. Oh, I'm a very curious person. I'm a very passionate person. But what does that mean? And it comes back again, as we talked about last week, to stories. It's all about the stories that you can tell. The personal stories, the life stories. And these are the things that you have a chance to show that you're passionate, that you're curious, and that you are interested in other people and other cultures and so on, through the stories of what you have done, or the stories that the stories that interest you, or the stories of the things that interest you. And at any interview, and by the way, I'm not going to go on about interviews in this session, but just a little bit more. At any interview, you will have the chance to talk about your stories, to tell your stories, either because somebody will ask you a question which you can give a relevant answer to, or because at the end, you usually get the chance to ask questions yourself. They'll usually say, do you have anything else you want to say, or any questions? And at that point, you can say, yeah, you didn't ask me about this, and I want to tell you something that's important. I went to a session with the High Life Foundation. I took part in Young and Dynamic, and I met amazing people from different countries, and I learned so much. And these are the things that I learned. And suddenly they see your eyes light up, and their eyes will light up, and they will listen, and they'll start to smile, and they'll start to think, this is the person who brings something interesting to our company, to our organization, or to our school. And never miss a chance to tell stories all your life. Here's somebody who's a very, very good storyteller. He died sadly about 3-4 years ago. His name is Ken Robinson. Some of you might have heard of him. If you watch TED Talks, you may well have seen his TED Talks. If you don't watch TED Talks, you should. And if you haven't watched his TED Talk, you should. He was an amazing speaker. He was an educationalist. And his background was in teaching drama and theatre, performing arts. And he's a huge advocate for the creative side of education. he was he was a genius communicator, and he was someone who really saw what education should be about, and how our current education systems, especially in Europe and in America, where he lived. He was British, but he lived in America. Um, he saw the failings of those education systems. He saw that it was not developing potential and creativity. And as I say, if you look him up, you just Google Ken Robinson, you will find out all about him. You'll be able to see his lectures, and believe me, you'll enjoy the talks that he gives. You'll enjoy 100 times more than mine. He's a very amusing communicator, but he makes very, very serious points.